Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel, where we create visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decisions for your applications. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so here we have the standalone pergola with a louvered covered section here. And let's go right into the overall dimensions. So overall dimensions, I have a height here of about 9'6" off the finished floor. And then I have a total distance here of 1511, 12 feet for this section here. And then each section here I have at 14.2, so from this inside edge to this inside edge, at the total length here of 30 feet 2 inches. And it's not attached to the structure itself, and so there's no reason to worry about doors or anything of that nature. We do have a couple of fans and some recessed lighting inside of the beams coming across here. Now I believe this whole structure is all aluminum, so that will dictate as far as clearances to combustible material. And I think that's about it right now. All right, so let's go ahead and turn that off and look at some different options that we can come up with. So the first option I might look at is using what they call the SlimLine 4000 watt units, and I've placed them here right in the center of this beam and centered within the span this direction here. I have a total of 4 units. I have these two, this one here going to the right, and then these two here, one to the left and one to the right, and then this one here to the right here, and they're all at about 30 degrees. Now you can see that there is an issue with regards to the lighting here, so maybe we can eliminate one of these lights. Not quite sure of that. Also, the brackets on the SlimLine, excuse me. The brackets on the SlimLine do move back and forth down this channel here, so you can move it if the lighting is going to be there and you want to place these here. So just something to think about. Now let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. So this would be the infrared light wave, so you're not going to visually see it. It's invisible to the human eye. However, this is the coverage area that you will be receiving, and you can see that this is a fairly decent footprint of heat. Now here, if you were sitting here and you had just one unit on, I'm just going to turn this off for a second. This would not be a good location to sit if it was just one unit hitting the center span here. However, with 2 units like this, you have the crossover rays, so this will be nicely heated. And I think you would appreciate that footprint of heat itself. So that's just one thing to think about. Now another idea would be to use, and this is something that they had requested, is to use the CD 6024. So these are 6,000 watt 240 volts. They're all in the same location. However, these here, I needed to spread these apart a little bit further. So something like this, you may have to come up with your own bracket that maybe you manufacture in the field, where you could just mount, the bracket to the structure itself, and then have, remove these arms here. So we'll just take that out for a second here. So you would remove that and then use the bracket that you build to actually mount the heaters to it. So it'd be something like that. Let's go ahead and pop this off too, just so you can get a good look at that. And that's what it would look like, something like that. This will allow this light to, shine down through this area here. However, there will be some reflection off of the top of the units and maybe some shadow that comes down here. So something just to think about. All right, let me just put those back on here real quick and go to something else. And that something else was they did mention that there is a lot of wind in their area, and so there might be a screen that they place here. So I placed the screen here, and you can see that I'm using a different kind of bracket here again that you'd have to manufacture again, but you could, you know, move this heater further away from that screen. Let's just go with maybe 8 inches there, and you can see that now we're making the clearances to the combustible screen material, and as long as this material is fixed to the structure itself and not pushing into the unit, something like this would work for this application here. Now if you didn't use the screen, then I would go ahead and go back to the original option, which is like this here. So let's go ahead and turn that bracket off. And so that's the 6,000 watt units. Now the 6,000 watt units are much more powerful, and you can see that this might be a little bit hotter than you would normally like it. So with the 6,000 watt unit, you would definitely want to use some sort of control system, or at minimum use a duplex switch for each heater. The duplex switch would allow you to turn one element on, one element off, or both elements on, something of that nature, which will give you some flexibility in the output of the power, so that you're not overheating yourself in times where maybe it's 65, 70 degrees and it's a little bit cooler in the evening, something of that nature, and you just want to have just a little bit of heat on you. So something to think about. All right, so the next option might be something like this, where you're placing the heaters on the opposite sides of each other here. You can see I just have those again centered within that span. And by the way, the drawing did not show these beams. However, there was a hand drawing that was given to me that showed these beams here and here, and that there was lighting fixtures underneath there as well as over here. So in any case, you could place the heater something like this, and the footprint of heat here isn't as ideal as the other, as I showed you before, because here you can see the chairs are, you know, yes, they are heated, but if you were to sit back a little bit further, you know, you may or may not be in that ray. So you want to be in that ray. Otherwise, if you're not in the physical ray itself, then you don't feel the heat itself. Even though that this is infrared light, and light as it travels through space, it bends and stretches, this is the ideal footprint of heat. So again, this may or may not be ideal for this application. You can see that we're really cutting it close to the way I have these chairs in here right now. So another thing you could do, however, is if you didn't want to do something like that, you can actually put the units on the outer edge here, and you can broaden that ray out a little bit further. This one is up a little bit higher. However, they're 6,000 watts, so that would work out fine for this application. Again, you'd want to use a control system for this side over here, probably for both in reality. So I think that is about it. And let's go ahead and look at the top here without the louvers on, so we can kind of see just the footprint of heat. And this would be that final option. This would be the second to final option. This would be the CD series here on the left and right, and then also the SlimLine series here on the left and right of each section here. All right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, please send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, we're not monetize. YouTube does not promote our channel in any way unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers, and we truly appreciate that. Thank you. Have an excellent day.